welcome back. It's so good to see you. So today we are going to be reading from my grandma's memoir. Yay, I love reading from her memoir. So we are on chapter 28, and this one is retirement years. Okay, as I grow older, I find many things I once thought important no longer seem so important to me. I used to color my gray hair, but I don't any longer. I used to worry so much about appearances. Unless I had all my makeup on, I would not go out. Even on my days off at home, I would put makeup on. Now, I can leave the house without any makeup on at all and feel just fine about it. I just try to make sure the zippers are zipped, buttons are buttoned, and that my shoes match. That's funny. I noticed the other day that my hair, I'm getting like blonde highlights. So my hair, I do have gray hair. I think I've mentioned this before, but it's like underneath, if I were to like flip my hair over, there'd be gray. But I actually get very excited about gray hair because I just want to be old. Like, I can't wait for that day to where like my kids are grown and I've got grandkids and I'm the grandma. Like, I don't know why, but that's where I want to be in my life. But I've never been about like, oh, I have to be wearing makeup. I can't leave my house looking like this. I've literally left the house in my pajamas. I'm one of those people. I don't care. But yeah, I don't know. Now at the point of this, she doesn't care. She's like, as long as the zippers are zipped, buttons are buttoned, who cares? In 2006, I quit my job to retire. I am not sure I should have done this, as immediately gas prices went sky high and the grocery stores had a field day trying to see who could raise prices the most, even between breakfast and supper. That seems like now, like my mom retired last year, and after she retired, like prices just went up like crazy, and now it was almost ridiculous. Since I retired, we are living on less money than before I retired. This takes some adjusting, but we are doing okay. I am in quite good health. I do exercises for my back daily, and I try to walk as much as I can. I also try to eat a balanced diet most of the time. My weakness is anything sweet. I certainly have an excellent appetite. Yeah, her weakness was definitely anything sweet, but also margaritas. Oh my god, when she came to live with us, like, her and my dad would go to this little restaurant like down the street, I think like every Friday, and they would just have margaritas for breakfast. What? My grandma could drink. I remember one 4th of July, we made Jello shots, and my grandma was just freaking down in those Jello shots. She loved them. I think I might be getting more arthritis in my hands as I have more and more difficulty trying to open jars and packages that are sealed tightly. Girl, I feel your pain. I am so against accepting limits, but I think we all are. I somehow resent the fact that one of these springs the wild violets will be blooming, and I won't be there to see them. She's gonna do it. She's gonna make me cry. I have gastroesophageal reflux, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, osteoporosis. Our children visit us fairly often. I am glad that they all live so close to us. 2 of our daughters go with me to Sacred Heart Church every Sunday. We also go shopping quite a bit, and we love going out to dine. I remember Saturdays, I feel like it was maybe every other Saturday, or it might have actually been every Saturday that we would go out. All the girls, all the aunts and daughters and stuff, and my grandma, we would go out every Sunday or Saturday. We would just go shopping or visit stores, antiquing, that kind of thing, and then we would have lunch. We used to do that all the time, and now we don't do that ever. I kind of miss that. Our oldest daughter, Terry, is an elementary school teacher. She is not married. The other girls are married. That's Ava. And we really have great sons-in-law. Wendy is a probation officer. Kathy is a registered nurse. I am not sure what Dallas is doing now, or if she has a career of any kind. Christy is a medical transcriptionist for a large company. She works at home, and Stacy works at the county court system as a district clerk. We are so proud of them all and pleased that they are doing so well. Of course, we cannot take any credit for this because they all put themselves through college and found the careers that they have. If I had my life to live over, I would be there for my children more and spend more time with them. I feel like the closer we get to the end of this book, the more I cry. I have learned that children are much more important than any job or career ever could be. I'm trying, I'm fighting it. I would not be such a strict disciplinarian. I would hug them a whole lot. I would tell them that I love them. I regret I was never that type of mom. Maybe I still can be. I wish I had been... Oh, hold on, there's pictures. It looks like... I don't know if it's gonna focus, but that's my Aunt Christy. That's my dad with, I believe, my niece. And I think this is Dallas's wedding. And this is my mom. I don't know what we're doing there. It's hard to tell in the pictures. What did it say? It said, I wish I had been more patient with our girls. Sometimes I believe that I was just overwhelmed. I don't blame her. Like 6 kids. Ooh, that's a lot. After all, we did have 6 girls in the span of 11 years. And I worked full-time for nearly all this time to help put bread on the table. If I had to do it all again, I would love more and laugh more. I would not take life so seriously. I would be kinder to people. I would be kinder to myself. I would not worry so much. And then it looks like Wendy and Terry, and then my Aunt Stacy with her husband, Steve. All in all, being in my 70s could be a whole lot worse. I guess she was in her 70s when she wrote this. I thank God each morning that I can still see the wonders he has made, and can hear the birds singing their joyous songs. Looking at me on the outside, I might look very old. On the inside, I will forever be 25. Why she gotta do it? Why? Okay. I think this chapter will be less cryy. It's chapter 29, Trips. We would make one trip every fall home, which is only about, oh, no, it says we would make one trip every fall to St. Cloud, which is only about 17 miles from where we lived. But to us, this was a big, big deal. St. Cloud was the closest big town to where we lived. Anyway, we would make the trip to buy school supplies. This trip took us the better part of a day. I totally get that. Like, when I have to go with my kids to get school supplies, first of all, you can't find the very specific thing that every teacher wants. So you're having to search through things. You have to go to multiple stores. It's the worst. So I totally get that. It hasn't changed. We would stop when we got halfway there and eat a picnic lunch. What? Oh my God. She's not saying it took all day to find the supplies. I think they walked there 17 miles. That sucks. But they would stop halfway there to eat a picnic lunch. Okay, times have changed. Sorry, Grandma. We did this every year for quite a while. We would have store-bought bread that was already sliced in perfect slices. Oh my gosh, fancy. We thought this was just wonderful. Sometimes we had sardines. Gross. And sometimes we had beans in a can. Oh. We especially liked the bologna sandwiches that Mom made. We would eat the lunch, continue on our way to St. Cloud, and shop when we got there. They did walk. What? We never bought much, but there was something for everybody. I got a red sweater one time, and I loved it. Then we would always get red chef tablets. I don't know. The pages were lined. Maybe they still make them. I don't know. I've never heard of this. We got a box of 8 crayons that had the basic colors. We didn't have those fancy names they give the colors nowadays. I mean, those boxes, like, I don't know. I think there's like some that have like 136 or 186, something like that. It's like colors are crazy. Back then, the ballpoint pen had not been invented. What? So we wrote with lead pencils. The ballpoint pen had not been invented when my grandmother was in school. What? Crazy. I guess this was not truly lead, but graphite. To this day, I love the smell of new school supplies, crayons, tablets, pencils, and erasers. Me too. Like, I love just looking at the school supplies. I hate shopping for them because you have to get very specific things. But before I go shopping and I'm just looking, I love it. Like, I love school supplies, office supplies, that kind of thing. I don't know why. My sister Rosamond reminded me that before we got to St. Cloud, there was the Mississippi Mississippi River with a long bridge over it. Mom and Daddy didn't trust the bridge to hold, so they would park the car on the side before we got to the bridge and walk across. Us kids would sit and wait in the car until Mom and Daddy were done with the shopping and came back. So they did drive, but they wouldn't cross the bridge because the parents did not think that it could hold the car. What? That's crazy. I wish I could have seen this bridge that, like, the parents didn't trust, you know? Okay, London trip. In 1995, we flew to London on British Airlines. This was the first time I had flown over the ocean. We stayed at the Utzon Plaza Hotel. We were over there for about 2 weeks. While we were there, we saw the British Museum, Buckingham Palace, I would die, the Thames, Big Ben, the Crown Jewels, Westminster Abbey, the spot where Anne Boleyn, second wife of King Henry, was beheaded. That's a place that they have, like, for people to travel to go see. That's crazy. Piccadilly Circus and a castle named Warwick, but called Warwick's Castle. Okay. We were not allowed to take flash pictures inside the castle, but we got a couple of pictures without the flash, and they turned out pretty good. There were a lot of wax figures and things like that in the castle. And she does have a picture. It says at Warwick's Castle in England. You can't see, they're standing there, but you can't really see it. Beautiful though. Okay, on the way to Warwick Castle, we saw Winston Churchill's home and bought some ink pens and a few other things that were for sale in a little shop. One day we went to see William Shakespeare and Anne Hathaway's home. We saw the bench that they sat on while courting. Ooh. The stone steps were worn away there from so many people walking over them for centuries. I was thrilled because I love Shakespeare's work. Yeah, she's got a lot of poetry in here, so I can see that. We bought souvenirs at Horrocks, and of course, this included boxes of tea. That was a thing that me and my grandmother really enjoyed together, was tea. I used to love when she lived with us, because every day when I got home from work, this was when I was in college, she would be there and we would sit on the front porch and I would make us tea and we would sit in our rocking chairs on the front porch drinking tea. I miss that. Wendell bought a gold pen there. We enjoyed the Piccadilly Circus, where I bought earrings and some other items for souvenirs. We went to a shoe store, and I bought shoes. Really? At a shoe store? The sizes there were much smaller than U.S. sizes. Hold on just a second. So there's a loud truck going by, but it's like taking its time, so I might have to pause again. I'm not sure. The tube is really like the subway. I've never heard of the tube, but much deeper, and this is how most people get around. We went on the subway, which had a stop about 2 blocks from where we stayed at the hotel. We also took a taxi at one time and rode a 2-decker bus. And then she's got a picture here. It says, at the pub in the first floor of our hotel in London. Yeah, that truck's coming by again. Hold on. Okay, it's gone for now, but it is going to come back down the street, so... Okay. We went to the British Museum, where they had the Rosetta Stone on display. The Rosetta Stone in the British Museum. I loved every bit of London except the food. What? It was sort of bland and tasteless to me. Oh, sorry. But we survived on bookmaker sandwiches, which were sliced beef on bread, and they were pretty good. They sold these in the pub at the hotel where we stayed. People would usually order this sandwich with a pint of courage, which was a popular beer over there. As a matter of fact, when we got home, we could still get the beer here in some places, and we would buy it whenever we saw it, but it is no longer available here. I bet it is, though, because my neighbor, the neighbor that I like, the one neighbor that I'm like, we're really good friends, they are English. They moved here because their son moved here, and anyway, they're this older couple that's retired. We love them, and I was over there, I don't know, like a few weeks ago, and she was telling me she had given me some Christmas pudding that was left over from Christmas, but she had got it was just like pre-packaged Christmas pudding, and I was like, I've never had that, so she gave me some. But I was like, where do you get this stuff? Because she has a bunch of like English, type food, and she said at the British market. I think it's called the British Market, and I was like, what? Where is this British Market? I must go. So she told me where it was. I'm thinking I want to do a shop with me there, but I don't know. I haven't gone, but like, if they have a British Market, wouldn't they have this courage beer? I would think. I don't know. Anyway, one night in the bar at the hotel, a guy told Wendell that he liked his Western-style boots. He also had boots on, but more of an English type. We talked to him and his girlfriend for quite a while. He looked like a poet, with his hair quite long and wavy, sort of like John Keats or somebody. I have no idea who John Keats is, but now I gotta look him up. He was intrigued by our accents and our talk of Texas. It snowed in London while we were there. Oh my gosh, how amazing. I love snow. This was in March. That would never happen. First of all, it never snows here, and it would never snow in March, ever. Luckily, we had taken some warm clothes to wear, just in case. People walk a lot in London. They seem to enjoy it. I think the people are more frugal in the United Kingdom than they are in the United States. Is this true? I don't know. Other trips. We have traveled far and wide in Texas, and we have had many adventures. We went to New Mexico to see the sights and enjoy the architecture there. We went to the caverns of Sonora in Texas. I think me and my sister went there when we were in college. We had the same geology class, and we went into the caverns. I remember that, which were not too large. And then we went to the Carlsbad Caverns, which I'm sorry, I'm just remembering something. Hold on. Which we were older and a lot bigger. We got some great pictures of some kind of rocks. I can't even say them. Okay, so I was thinking about when me and my sister were in geology, we went on a field trip. This was in college, which I didn't know that colleges did field trips, but they do. Anyway, and we went down into this cavern, and it was pitch black. So me and my sister, like, we couldn't see each other, but we were standing right next to each other, and I went to, like, because she couldn't see anything, so I went to, like, kind of smack her in the face. I don't know why, but she had the same thought, so we went to smack each other in the face, and then we just high-fived each other. So it was pitch black, and then everybody was quiet, and we both high-fived each other, like, quite loud, because we were gonna slap each other in the face. And then we just started busting out laughing because we knew exactly what had happened. So everybody thought that we were crazy, but they couldn't see what had happened. I don't know. It's just when she was talking about caverns, it made me think of that. Anyway, okay, another place we loved to visit was Mexico. The people, the food, the sidewalk vendors, and the market were all so colorful and vibrant. There is always loud music wherever you go in Mexico. We just love the atmosphere more than anything. I remember one time they went to Mexico. I think they brought me back some sort of toy, but I can't remember. Prices used to be really good there. They sell all kinds of glassware, lamps, carved furniture, blankets, jewelry, and just about anything else you could think of. One time, our daughter Terry was with us. We bought a beautiful carved chest. So many things that we have in our home came from Mexico. The majority of the people in Mexico are very poor, especially in the border towns. You will see some of the families sweeping dirt floors in their houses and no glass in the windows or doors. I guess the thing I like the most about Mexico is that everyone always seems to be happy even though they are poor. Now you really cannot go into Mexico because of the drug dealers. It is too dangerous. I think you need a passport to even cross the border. I'm pretty sure you definitely need a passport to cross the border now. I don't know. But, like, back in the day, you didn't need passports to cross into Mexico. Years ago, we crossed the Rio Grande on a raft that carried 3 cars. It was powered by 4 Mexican men pulling on a rope. What? They could not speak English. Anyway, we came across the river and were about 20 miles from a decent-sized city. During this time, we went past a lot of vaqueros. I don't know what vaqueros is. On horseback, tending cattle. We saw many cantinas with room for 5 to 8 people inside. We needed directions badly as all the signs were in Spanish, and we were on this dirt road. We unfortunately did not speak Spanish, and none of the people we saw could speak English. Finally, we saw some signs that we could read well enough to tell us where we were. We passed through Reynosa, and 30 miles from there came to Progreso, and there passed back into the US. Through this whole incident, I was very frightened. I mean, yeah, getting lost, not being able to figure out where you are, not being able to communicate with anyone, scary. Let's see, it says, once while in Mexico, we made a wrong turn someplace, inadvertently ending up in a parade. What? We had a new red truck, and it was probably the best looking vehicle in the parade. There was no way to escape it, so we drove along slowly and waved while the crowd all cheered. What? Oh my god, that is hilarious. That's awesome. Okay, my mother went with us several times to Mexico. Once with my Aunt Virginia, my sister Gail, and her family went with us one time, and my mother-in-law and father-in-law went another time. My brother Roger and his wife also went with us once. They all seemed to enjoy the experience. Golly, how many times did they go to Mexico? They must have really, really liked it. The last time we visited Maryland, the next time we visited Maryland, we went to a place called Holy Hill, a national shrine of Mary. The view is wonderful, and the drive was lovely. Holy Hill. I don't know why that's so hard for me to say. Holy Hill. Holy Hill is located in Hubertus, Wisconsin, about 30 miles from where Marilyn lives. We took pictures of all of the crutches, canes, and walking aids that had been left there by people who didn't need them anymore. What? Talk about being blessed. They were the true believers. There were also many beautiful statues in the building. Of course, we have gone back to Minnesota as often as we could. Our hearts are still there, and it always feels like coming home. You wouldn't think that I would care for traveling after all the times we've had to move to different cities out of necessity, but I continue to love it. They did move a lot. But yeah, so that is the end of that chapter, and we only have one more video left. Sad. So anyway, I really hope that you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.